I am so deeply sorry for all the pain that I've caused.
Over the past 3 years, one creator has been called out by many other influencers. OnlyJayus, a young and upcoming creator that has gotten into so much trouble so early on. Voice memos were leaked offering an explanation for their disturbing actions.
I just said dumb in 2016. I don't know, I was a toxic piece.
But to everyone else, this just seemed like a sorry excuse. 700,000 people decided they were no longer fans. Controversy after controversy, the backlash seemed never ending.
You've been horrible to them, so just stop acting like this great person.
Going on to offend 2 communities and putting down fellow influencers.
When is it going to be enough to say OnlyJayus is not a good creator?
Slowly, Jayus began to crack.
And you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my priority?
A petition to remove Jayus from social media has begun, and it's almost reached its goal. What did OnlyJayus do to garner so much backlash? They have been scrambling to offer explanations and save their career. Their dark past involving an abusive childhood may shock you. I moved away from my abuse. I'm the child of 11 kids. It may not justify their behavior, but it could offer insight into why they keep finding themselves in trouble. Let's unravel the story of OnlyJayus. Before we get into the story, we'd like to thank our sponsor for today's video, Extra. Thinking about the future milestones like buying a house and car can be pretty frustrating when your credit score is low, and for many, non-existent. Today, there are too many Americans who can't get a credit card, and there are few alternatives for building credit. That's why Extra is on a mission to make credit building safer and more accessible for everyone. Extra is the first debit card that builds credit and earns rewards. Extra is super easy to use. Just connect a bank account. All of this happens with a breeze as there's no credit check. When you make a purchase, Extra will spot you and Extra pays themselves back the next business day. At the end of the month, your payments are tallied up and reported to credit bureaus. Building good credit is important because it helps you qualify for loans and lower interest rates when you borrow money. This came in really handy for us when we took out a loan for school tuition and leasing a car. It can make purchases more affordable. Check out this guy who paid $6,000 less for the same car because of good credit. It's also a good idea to think about building good credit for long-term goals like securing a mortgage loan so you can get a cozy home for future family goals. Extra runs on a monthly subscription, with plans ranging from $8 a month to $12 a month. You can also earn redeemable points with every purchase, so you know you're getting the most value. Sign up for Extra using my link, extra.app/spill, and start building your credit with debit. Yes, a debit card. Now back to the story. In the winter of 2021, OnlyJayus was exposed for disturbing behavior involving another creator. From this moment on, all eyes were on Jayus, and any troubling behavior would be quickly broadcasted. With never-ending backlash and criticisms, Jayus would never be the same again. OnlyJayus, whose real name is Isabella Avila, is a popular TikToker from Las Vegas, Nevada, with over 17 million followers.
What is up, you guys? My name is Bella. You might know me as Jayus.
Their TikTok career began in February 2019, and they are best known for their life hack style videos.
If you want to have a higher chance of surviving a plane crash, what you need to do is sit in a middle seat towards the back of the plane. This spot on your forehead is known as your third eye. Pressing here for like 60 seconds can have some crazy benefits for your body.
They also have 3 million subscribers on YouTube, where they occasionally offer longer form content. Jayus has also found success on Netflix with their own podcast called I Know It All. Jayus's content was educational and easy to understand. Their content was on an upward trajectory. Little did we know, things were happening behind the scenes that gave us a peek into Jayus's character. Jayus was having issues with another creator, Akrello. Akrello is a popular TikToker from Lansing, Michigan, with over 7 million followers. He is best known for his comedy bits and life hack videos. 2 years ago, in November 2020, Akrello posted a cryptic video calling out Jayus. Me on my way to 2 million followers after being told by a huge TikToker my career would die in 6 months. It's been 7 months. This call-out would lead to a back-and-forth argument accusing each other of lying.
Never planned on name dropping you, but you commented, so, I'm gonna respond here.
Jayus's main defense against Akrello's accusation was claiming they only said Akrello's career would die after he made a YouTube video lying about him. The YouTube video in question was 20 minutes of Akrello criticizing Jayus and making bold claims, such as committing SA. Akrello claimed Jayus got the timeline twisted.
Quit lying! Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
He showed proof that JS made the negative comment about Akrello's career on April 5th, 2020.
April 5th, y'all can look at the top.
Akrello then showed proof the YouTube video was posted 3 days after their conversation, on April 8th, 2022.
As you can see, the date is April 8th. All of that started because you told me my career would die. But I used it as motivation. That's the good part.
JS tried to provide context, claiming that at the beginning of 2020, Akrello questioned why Connor, a mutual friend, blocked him, and JS told Akrello it was because he was copying Connor's content. JS said the fight was between Connor and Akrello and asked to be kept out of the drama. However, JS said Akrello proceeded to make the 20-minute video and continued to speak about JS in many other videos too.
He wanted to drag me into it because I had a lot of followers. Clout chaser, you know? He went through all my videos and nitpicked every little thing I've ever said. He told people that I was a offender and a drug addict. So excuse me if I don't like the kid.
Akrello denied JS's timeline and continued to stand by his original statement.
I didn't drop the video on you because you told me that he was stealing my content. I dropped the video on you because you told me my career would die.
Akrello also said JS had blocked him on their second TikTok account so they could continue to talk about him secretly. During their heated argument, Akrello shocked the public with another comment about JS.
Multiple verified creators have came out and said you've been horrible to them, so just stop acting like this great person.
JS continued to stand by their claim that Akrello's YouTube video was untruthful. Akrello explained why his YouTube video was not slander, considering the circumstances at the time.
I saw the video, it was posted out of context, there was no indication that it was a joke, and I said that was yes, kissing somebody without their consent is. That's not slandering your name. Any court would agree with me on that. You use Google. You should know this.
Then JS got extremely heated.
Not that this drama was over in April, but since this kid doesn't remember how this ended up for him last time, we're gonna have to go through it again.
This time, JS showed up with DMs that exposed Akrello's behavior during his fallout with Connor. JS showed how Akrello went on a rant about how all TikTok content is unoriginal. JS tried to explain boundaries to Akrello.
I'd explained to him like, no man, like it's different when somebody you considered a friend copies your videos and that's why he was mad. But I tried to stay out of this drama.
JS said this was the context behind their comment about Akrello's career, but did not show any proof to back this up.
And I did mention that if he didn't stop copying, he wasn't going to be anywhere in 6 months.
JS said they are mad because Akrello made a video about them instead of talking out the situation. Then Akrello made a comment we were all expecting. He said a lot of his ideas came from Reddit and had his own take on it. Akrello also said he credited Reddit for his ideas, but Connor never did.
All those screenshots are me defending myself, basically telling you that I wasn't copying. I don't have enough time to talk about this in a 60-second TikTok video, but they basically told me that if I apologized to them, that the videos would come down. They never did.
While the argument about original versus unoriginal content may seem petty because nobody owns publicly available educational information, things did take a turn for the worse when Akrello revealed JS's terrible reaction to the video. One of JS's fans asked others to comment on Akrello's Instagram page. Isabella will always be better than you, and made a personal comment saying he is an asshole, so just trust me. Akrello showed JS liked the tweet.
These were all the likes for the tweet. The girl has deleted it now. As you can see, it says OnlyJayus right here. She liked the tweet, basically giving everybody the gateway to go comment that.
As you may have noticed, Akrello's 20-minute video criticizing JS has been removed from YouTube. He revealed JS threatened to have YouTube take it down, so he removed it himself. With screenshots being thrown around and screenshots being withheld, it's still unclear what really happened between the two. But what is clear is the anger JS had over public criticism, and Akrello's comment about TikTok content being unoriginal seemed to foreshadow what would happen next. In July of 2020, JS accused content creator Jonathan Moss of copying their content.
I do not own information. I think it's okay for other creators to do fact videos. It literally does not bother me. I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word and act like you didn't.
The video in question showed Jonathan saying word for word what JS said.
Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you?
Yo, did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on you and the things that can happen to you in your life?
People born in March are way more likely to have asthma, and I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma.
People born in March are actually more likely to have asthma, and I can speak to that because my cousin, the only person born in March, has asthma.
The situation escalated quickly, with Jonathan receiving hate and threats to end his life. JS asked people to stop sending hate and threats to Jonathan, but urged him to do the right thing.
I don't want Jonathan to get hate, so stop with the death threats that he's saying he's getting, but he knows exactly what he's doing. And I think as bigger creators, we should be better than that, and I think he should just own up to it.
Jonathan quickly clapped back with an answer we all saw coming.
I found the content off Google. What does your birth month say about you? And I found it and I was like, oh snap, this would be cool.
And to back up his claim, Jonathan showed a Business Insider article that he claimed he read verbatim. He said his cousin did indeed have asthma, and that was why he chose to do his video in the month of March. Some felt JS deserved the credit. Just make a vid admitting you copied her and apologize, bro. But you literally said everything word for word of her video. Doesn't matter if you used the same site, you said everything word for word. But others sided with Jonathan. I can't believe she said use your own sources when she literally uses Google like hundreds of other creators. Why is she so mad about this? It's not like she owns that type of video. And this negativity really stuck with JS. JS tried to redeem themselves in a post they wrote on the OnlyJayus subreddit titled, "I thought I was doing the right thing." JS said they used a number of sources to create their TikTok, and they had planned to do all the months of the year, but Jonathan had uploaded it before then. They said their friends had told them to leave the situation alone, but they were too annoyed and called Jonathan out anyway, leaving a comment about copying their content. JS said Jonathan deleted the comment, so JS left another comment. Jonathan then blocked JS. JS shared their honest feelings. "I still don't know what to do. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Maybe you do, but honestly, I don't see it. I still think he should be held accountable. I don't understand how I can show proof of him copying me, and I still end up looking like the bad guy to most people." For the remainder of 2020, JS was drama-free and continued to thrive on TikTok. But when the new year came around, JS was in for the shock of a lifetime. In early February 2021, old DMs from JS were leaked, showing a fight between JS and an unnamed creator. JS made racially charged comments and wished illness on the creator's parents. This inappropriate behavior led to public callouts on TikTok.
Everybody here that I love you no matter your sex, your gender, your sexuality, your faith, or your race.
Goofy alert, guess that didn't age well, cause this you.
JS claimed the fight took place 2 or 3 years ago, but TikToker Freak the Gemini 1, also known as Freak, was suspicious of the timeline.
This is why I don't trust people with savior complexes, bro. I feel like it's always a second agenda behind what you do. If you say it's 2 to 3 years old, you were 20 years old. When you're a role model to 10 million people, bro. I hope things get better, and I hope you educate.
Jonathan Moss also spoke up, sharing DMs of JS denying the allegations by implying the DMs were photoshopped and later having a 180 moment when realizing the DMs were real.
She denied it, straight up lied. When the proof was shown to her, she immediately backtracked and tried to apologize for something she tried to cover up.
A large brand deal was also at risk during this moment. Arlen Parsa, a documentary filmmaker, called out Netflix for collaborating with JS. Jonathan encouraged others to inform Netflix about the situation since Netflix had been an ally for BLM.
If they still support this all-out racist, why should we support them? Netflix has a whole Black Lives Matter page. But do Black lives really matter to Netflix, or was it just a publicity stunt?
TikToker and rap artist Crystal Crave also put JS on blast for inconsistent behavior.
This one is for the white people telling me she was only 16. It was 5 years ago. Her brain was underdeveloped. People change, coming up with every excuse in the book. Prior to me uploading the video, she was not following me. After my video hit the For You page, I noticed she was. This tells me she saw what I had to say. She said she was going to apologize, which she has yet to do so. What you guys need to understand is her racism did not start when she typed that message, and it did not end after she hit send. When this 9-year-old got pepper sprayed, I didn't hear any of those bullshit excuses. I am giving her 6 hours to publicly apologize.
JS once again went to Reddit to explain themselves. In 2016, I got into an argument with someone. I don't remember the argument because he deleted his messages, but it was toxic and we were saying to each other. I said the N-word, which is awful. I feel awful. There's no excuse for it. Couple years later, he sent me screenshots of it and I apologized. He accepted it and I thought we moved on until he decided to leak it. I waited 3 days to make an apology due to my management, and my apology wasn't the best and I look like in it because I haven't slept in days. I am genuinely sorry and I want to make this better, but for now, I need a break from social media. And with the immense amount of criticism, JS finally apologized on February 12th, 2021.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people. And I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others, because I knew what that word meant and I understood the power behind it, but I said it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of. And I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the Black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this.
They claimed they didn't believe the screenshots were real at first.
I didn't even think that they were real because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be, and it hurts my soul knowing that I said those things. But the screenshots and the things I've said in my past are not a reflection of who I am today.
JayUs thanked the people who educated them and called the experience a reality check. To make things right, JayUs promised to share their platform with Black creators.
So I want to take this time to take a step back and share my platform with some amazing Black creators who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language.
JayUs was later seen liking positive reactions to their apology. A number of creators reacted negatively to JayUs's apology.
I don't know what Miss Little Thing thought she was doing, but she was like she was crying when we all know she wasn't. Admitting to the fact that when she said she thought that was the best jab to make at a person, she felt like loving a Black person was so disgusting that that was the best jab to make at somebody. Like,
a slur is a slur, but to insult someone for being in a relationship with a Black person by calling them a it does not get any worse than that. It is so hateful and it is so violent. Bro, a forced, fake, watered down apology will not cut that. Woo, child, for you to be as intelligent as you are with your little psychology facts, that is some dumb
One creator, Papa Gut, believed JayUs was being genuine, but acknowledged it wasn't his place to accept the apology.
I actually had a conversation, a private phone call conversation with JayUs about this situation. She seemed pretty sincere about how sorry she was. We had a conversation for about an hour. In private, I think she's sincere. In public, I think that her managerial team got far too involved in it.
But whether the apology appeared genuine or not, JayUs was exposed once more, digging a deeper hole. TikToker ISpeak1906, also known as Anthony Highland, showed a comment JayUs left on his video which contradicted JayUs's statement that they thought the DMs were photoshopped.
But is this not you, right here in my comment section, saying that you apologized to the person that you said it to a year ago? So when they pop back up on TikTok, you willfully acted oblivious and you knew that you said that nonsense.
The situation became worse than we could have imagined when voice memos were exposed. TikToker Wartooth95, also known as Rafael Hernandez, seemed to ask JayUs to make a video addressing the situation in more depth. Instead, JayUs explained their situation through a voice memo and the effort they were making to educate themselves now.
Well, for one, I left my conservative town and went to college, and I moved to LA, and I got out of the little white bubble, and my school, everybody just said that word. There were people in the parking lot that had Confederate flags on their trucks, and the school didn't care. We only had 2 Black kids. I did not grow up in a diverse environment, and then once I left that environment, it opened me up to a lot more experiences that changed my worldview completely. I've read so many books on racism. I'm reading How to Be Anti-Racist right now. I've read Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, and I'm going to be reading the new Jim Crow.
But JayUs's honesty seemed to get them in more trouble when they blamed their behavior on a video game.
I am educating myself on this. I'm not a racist. I just said dumb shit in 2016 because I played too much Call of Duty, man. I don't know. I was a toxic piece of shit. And I'm not only apologizing because I got caught. I apologized last year to this dude. He showed the screenshots.
And as time went on, everyone was waiting for JayUs to fulfill their pledge to share their platform with Black creators. This never happened, and it seemed like a book took their place.
So I thought it'd be cool to do book recommendations for you guys. And the first book that I decided to pick up was How to Be Anti-Racist by Dr. Ibram Kendi. And this will push readers that think that they're not racist into being something better.
People were not impressed. By the end of February, JayUs lost a total of 700,000 TikTok followers. During this whole controversy, there was one creator JayUs would absolutely lose it over, Aunt Karen. Aunt Karen is a TikToker that uses her platform to raise awareness about racism and has over 1.5 million followers. Aunt Karen was one of the Black creators JayUs invited to speak on their platform, but a whole month went by and JayUs still wasn't cooperating.
Talks with 2 other people right now, trying to get a big Zoom call with some people. If you want to be a part of it, that's cool. If not, I also get it. I understand that I haven't followed through on my promise like a lot of people expected me to, and it's something that I'm still working on it.
So, in the month of April, Aunt Karen made multiple videos calling out JayUs for ghosting her.
Are black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play? Because I can tell you one thing. If you were really truly sorry about what you said, you would not have lied and said you were going to do something you clearly aren't trying to do.
Aunt Karen was frustrated with JayUs's inability to follow through with their actions.
Why not just be racist? Just say you're racist.
She called out those who might try to make excuses for JayUs.
Now, your fans might get on here and say, oh, she just moved to a new apartment. She just... Stop the cap. Because she may have moved, but she's been streaming. You look at your phone. You look at your TikTok. She streams on her TikTok. She is playing those games. She's on Twitch, whatever. So please don't tell me that I'm in the wrong by posting this. The fact that you were able to say what you said and still have followers, it's sad, and it's honestly just shows that black creators never get the recognition that they deserve.
JayUs was quick to approach Aunt Karen and explain why the collab didn't happen.
So I am sorry for basically ghosting you. I didn't mean to do that. I just have a very chaotic schedule and ADHD on top of that, so I genuinely just forgot. It wasn't me trying to ignore you.
But instead of working things out for the collab, JayUs cut contact.
You could have just hit me up again, but instead you decided to go public and try to add public pressure onto me, and that's not cool, so I don't want to collaborate.
Aunt Karen was disappointed and showed she already made an effort on her end.
This is what black girls have to go through. Instead of just apologizing, you're going to put it on the black girl. You're going to put it on me. OnlyJayus, if you watched my last video, that receipt, that email, was dated for 3/24. In your voicemail, you said I should have emailed you again. Baby, what's this? This you? April 4th, I emailed you. How many times do you expect me to message you waiting on you to continuously ghost me? Wow.
JayUs apologized on Aunt Karen's video, but Aunt Karen wasn't having it.
OnlyJayus, stop gaslighting black people. Stop gaslighting people of color. If you really wanted to know how to be anti-racist, stop gaslighting people of color and treating them like they are the issue. At this point, any person of color, any ally to people of color should not be following OnlyJayus.
Aunt Karen also posted herself shaking her head in reaction to JayUs's claim they got their vocabulary from playing Call of Duty too often. JayUs was enraged by the amount of videos Aunt Karen made about them, and what they said next would be a moment viewers would never forget. On April 9th, 2021, JayUs shared an explosive rant directed at Aunt Karen.
Today's episode of What Are People Mad at Me For Now? Not checking my emails in a timely manner. I wish I was joking. Forgot to respond to an email from this creator that wanted to collab with me, and instead of just like hitting me up again, they made 7 videos about it! Can you please leave me the f alone? I have a diagnosed neurological disorder that makes me forget things and procrastinate due to time blindness. I forget to eat for days. I procrastinate sleep for more days. I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna throw a fit because I didn't make you my priority? Ah! Now if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get drunk as f in Las Vegas to celebrate my 22nd birthday, and y'all can keep crying for my attention.
Aunt Karen was baffled as she already addressed following up when JayUs was unresponsive.
It's the lies for me. Oh my, y'all. Aunt Karen always keeps her receipts. It's the lies. What are these dates? Hit you up again, you say? What is these dates? We lying. Wow.
Other creators had a lot to say. TikToker Penguin Boo, also known as Ash, called out JayUs for blaming everything on their ADHD.
As someone with ADHD, you do not get to blame every single ounce of your incompetence and your lack of consistency on ADHD. I find it funny because on 228, you said that no one wanted to collab with you. But when a black creator actually wants to collab with you, you just ghost her.
Ash also exposed JayUs for saying they will post BLM links in their bio, but never did that. Many other TikTokers continued to criticize JayUs for their defensive behavior.
You're acting like a crazy angry black woman is attacking you for having a disability. Racism is not a symptom of ADHD, and it's not an excuse. You owe Aunt Karen a big apology.
Surprisingly, on April 14th, 2021, JayUs would speak about the positivity on their platform, which Aunt Karen quickly shut down.
With my platform, I've done way more positive than negative that a lot of you guys really don't want to give me credit for.
Are you kidding me? Have you learned nothing the last few days? You know, it's so funny how so many people have reached out to me saying that you want to apologize, and yet you pull stuff like this. Positive? You've done more positive? How could you sit there and speak so highly of yourself knowing that you isolated black voices, knowing that you purposely didn't speak to me, knowing that you purposely avoided black people because you only wanted to put the black voices that you felt were positive for you?
Aunt Karen also called JayUs out for being calculating.
Okay, some of you guys are missing the big picture here. Did you notice how OnlyJayus posted about me and our issue only on their alt account? It's because they didn't want their main following to know they didn't hold their promise.
It wasn't long before JayUs's professional support came crumbling down. JayUs soon lost all of their sponsors, including their partnerships with Netflix, Hi Emil, and Casetify. JayUs continued posting TikTok videos as if everything was normal, but around 4 months after the initial apology video, JayUs found themselves in controversy once again, this time offending another community. On May 23, 2021, JayUs made a video offering illegal life advice.
If a service dog ever approaches you but they're alone, that means that their owner's in trouble and they probably can't move, so you should follow him, because you'll get a free wallet.
In the caption, JayUs wrote, "For reasons, this is a joke." A lot of people didn't see the humor in the joke, while some people felt others were overreacting. Y'all are so sensitive. Bro, do people not get this is a joke? But some people were truly hurt by the joke.
When is it going to be enough to say OnlyJayus is not a good creator, should not be followed, and should not be listened to?
Dr. Inna Kanevsky, a psychology professor with 1.1 million TikTok followers, spoke about her daughter who uses a service dog.
My child is phase gay. They are a service dog user. Why? Because in fact, there are occasions when Faye may be incapacitated and her dog will need to get help. And this is not a kind of joke you want to be putting out there. It's not funny to anybody who uses a service dog. It is not okay. And there is no apology. There is no responsibility. There is nothing.
Faye also made multiple videos about the situation, which eventually led JayUs to comment, "Read the caption, dummy." Faye responded, implying JayUs's joke wasn't truly a joke.
The caption says, this is a joke for reasons, which definitely implies for legal reasons this is a joke.
Faye got heated when explaining the real danger service dog users face.
So I'm here as a disabled person with a service dog. Here she is, clearly labeled, calling you out for what you did, which is super harmful. It is a constant fear for me and my community for that when I am incapacitated, someone will take advantage of me. It has happened to me. It has happened to other people. It is constantly in news stories. And you do this to your millions of followers. You put it in a tips video. And you think calling it a joke will excuse it?
Faye criticized JayUs for not doing proper research as a creator that makes educational content.
You could have talked to disabled people, you could have done your research like you say you do, and made an educational video on what to do if a service dog handler is down and their dog brings you to them. The video is still up, inciting and causing harm to disabled people. And you don't care, and you won't listen, and you're not even ashamed about it.
Faye also called out JayUs for their language and alleged reaction to the situation. The fact that they went out of their way to call a disabled person they're already harming dummy, and then are mass reporting me? Another service dog user offered real advice.
First, obviously follow the dog, find the owner. Check if the owner is alive. Check the dog for any patches or any paperwork that will sometimes be on the dog telling you what to do.
It's been nearly a year since JayUs posted the video, and it still has not been removed. A month after the illegal joke was made, JayUs continued to receive backlash. On June 11th, 2021, TikToker Sean SVV, also known as Sean, revealed they were another black creator that JayUs was going to collaborate with, but JayUs didn't follow through.
I've never felt this used, emotionally drained, and manipulated in my life. Do you know how much empathy and patience and acceptance and tolerance it takes to privately speak with a creator that has had a problematic past and said they were going to address it privately and then publicly.
Sean explained they organized a lot of the behind-the-scenes preparation, setting up Zoom calls with other creators, setting goals for JayUs, and giving them academic material to study. Sean expressed their disappointment.
To most likely be the only Black creator that was willing to build a bridge, meet someone halfway, and say, hey, I'm willing to help you with this. Here are the plans. Let's do this together. Only for them to either leave you on red or say, we'll get to it later, or we'll do this some other time. To invest over 2 months of your own time into helping someone, trying to believe that they're not like this, trying to help them out. This creator burnt a bridge that I built 90% of, and I'm not gonna hold back on the shit I let slide.
Then, Sean dropped a bombshell that would change the narrative of JayUs apology forever. Sean revealed JayUs allegedly hired a ghostwriter to write their apology back in February so they wouldn't lose their brand deals.
The person that helped you write the apology is my friend, and you've wronged them over and over, like you have me.
On June 13th, 2021, TikToker I'm Just Xander, also known as Alexander, admitted to being the ghostwriter.
I then tried to help him to the best of my ability while still being extremely angry and frustrated. Helped with a good bit of the apology, especially the part about Black creatives. When we were both talking about that part in the apology, I really did think that they would hold up their end of the bargain, you know?
Alexander said they were friends with JayUs before the controversy and noticed JayUs was in a rough spot and needed a Black person to talk to. Alexander and Sean were some of the few Black people who would still show JayUs kindness during that time. However, Alexander expressed their real feelings now that JayUs did not follow through with their plan.
I definitely do feel like I was like a little bit used.
It wasn't long before the public took matters into their own hands, and as usual, JayUs had to get involved. In June 2021, Vanellope Von Adams started a petition to remove JayUs from TikTok, listing all the controversies they have been in. JayUs appeared irritated by the petition and made multiple social media posts about the situation. So someone started a petition to get me off TikTok. I'm so scared. But for real though, this is funny. Good luck getting more than 13.5 million signatures, I guess.
The only way that TikTok would ever ban me, I'll ban myself. I don't give a f.
Despite their initial responses, JayUs claimed they were so confident nothing would come of the petition, they were willing to buy the petition more signatures so more people would see it. Vanellope, the creator of the petition, reacted to JayUs' attitude.
A whole 35,000 people don't like me.
Oh, it's 37,000, get it right. I'm just kidding, it's way more than that. Do you seem to forget that this petition was started less than a day ago? So that's not 35,000 people in total. That's 35,000 people so far. Do you want to know what I find very hilarious? And forgive me for not laughing, it's really early. But normally, JayUs, when you're caught in a scandal and it's something you don't want to be involved in or you're not worried about, you ignore it. The fact that you even acknowledge the petition at all might tell us a little bit more than what you think. And don't forget, people have paid real money to boost the petition to get more signatures.
And Karen also called out JayUs for their attitude.
You are creating your own downfall. You won't apologize and mean what you say because you don't truly care, and we are holding you accountable for that. The truth is, you are terrified. You won't even post any of this on your main account because that's how terrified you are. And if anyone else is watching this, please sign the petition and let's hold people like this accountable.
As of now, the petition has raised over 400,000 signatures, and as a result of the never-ending controversies, JayUs' follower growth slowed down 34.6% compared to their previous reports. The week the petition was launched, their TikTok subscriber growth dropped from 1.1 million weekly followers to 100,000 weekly followers. By fall of 2021, JayUs would get exposed once again, this time by a fellow creator who once defended them. On October 20th, 2021, Papa Gut revealed he believed JayUs is a bad person. 5 days prior, Papa Gut made a commentary video on JayUs' TikTok about how minimum wage in the United States hasn't increased despite the cost of living going up drastically. Papa Gut's reaction was,
And like, I understand OnlyJayus is trying to be nice here, but OnlyJayus doesn't understand things.
Papa Gut then explained the complexity behind increasing minimum wage and many factors to take into consideration. JayUs allegedly didn't take this well and wrote and deleted a YouTube comment, but Papa Gut still saw it.
Now, I know that she commented because if a large creator comments on a YouTube video, you'll get like a specified notification about it, which I got. And that's what this is, a screenshot of the notification, but it was deleted before I could even look at it. So it says, JS doesn't know things. Shut the fuck up, dude. If
Papa Gut confronted JS about the deleted comment and offered to have a discussion on minimum wage.
I didn't delete which is verifiably false because this is gone. This comment doesn't exist. It's not there. It's not in the held for review section because I looked everywhere. She deleted it. This is something that she does a lot. She'll say things and then she'll delete them, and she'll gaslight the people who disagree with her, and she'll try to use her large audience to stir people away.
Papa Gut said he was willing to show the DMs because
frankly, I think JS is a bad person.
JS called Papa Gut out for talking down to them and clapped back by talking down to Papa Gut. Papa Gut apologized for saying JS doesn't know things, but called out JS for their attitude.
Anyway, I got annoyed because this is something that JS does all the time, is when somebody criticizes her, she will say, well, I'm a bigger content creator, so I must be better than you. It's one of the reasons why she's always in the forefront of drama, because she thinks she's literally better than everybody.
Papa Gut said he treated JS like a friend, but in hindsight, JS didn't do the same.
She really just treated me like a person to talk to and vent and get information on how to deal with her cancellations.
People were shocked to see how low JS had gone. No matter how big or small the conversation, JS seemed to be there. As recently as 2022, JS was still trying to clear their name. On January 15th, 2022, a post was made in r/teenagers talking about a YouTube short they saw that was sourced to JS. However, the original poster wrote, "I don't usually watch them because they're not a very good person." JS was quick to swoop in and explain their situation, but added fuel to the fire by speaking poorly about Aunt Karen. I apologized in private and asked if she would like to continue to work together, but instead did replying, she went on an 6-month rage against me. Another Redditor asked why JS was problematic. When the poster gave 2 big reasons, JS tried to correct them, saying, "That's not what happened." As the month went on, JS began to crack. On January 30th, 2022, JS posted to their subreddit with the headline, "I'm not sure what to post anymore." When given ideas or called out, JS would get defensive. In a comment thread with another Redditor, a moderator removed all the comments except for JS's. So, while we don't know what the Redditor said, we do have JS's response, which revealed a dark past no one was expecting. Other than being white, what's my privilege? I'm the child of 11 kids in a single income family, then ended up in foster care. I was the first in my family to ever go to college, community college. Yeah, I said the N-word. I feel awful over it and apologize all the time. What do you want? JS alleged they were mistreated by their parents. Unfortunately, the family that abused me and ultimately failed enough to put me in foster care clearly didn't teach me very good morals. It's all things I had to unlearn. JS also spoke about privilege and being an ally. But I've only had a platform for 2 years. I'm very newly privileged compared to the majority of my life. I sent those texts when I was 16, 6 years ago. I've changed a lot since then. I've moved away from my abusers, got my first job, went to college, got therapy, found a better group of friends, got medicated, and got deeply humbled by my past being made public to 25 million people. I might be privileged currently, but I'm not racist, and I'm using my platform to better educate people and be an ally. Again, what do you want? The Redditor called JS a nut, implying the 17 million followers they have is also a privilege. Despite the desperate tone in JS's responses, they eventually became defensive and called the Redditor privileged and jealous. And the final blow involved calling out the Redditor in a petty way. Edit, LMFAO, go through your own post history, bud. You admitted to saying the N-word in middle school. Don't try and come at me, you hypocritical a hypocrite. And his face. Better hope you never have millions of people that care about you and what you do, or you'll be cancelled. The Redditor responded to JS's immaturity. It's insane to have a following that big and lose your mind on negative comments. And to have a following that big and post pictures of people's faces shows how little you've grown at all. Also, the video I watched said you were 20, not 16. Meanwhile, I was like, 12, LMAO, you are weird. And JS continues to respond to negative posts about themselves in hopes of clearing their name. In a recent 2022 interview on Creator Mindset, JS revealed, "I fear failure. I'm afraid that this slightly longer 15 minutes of fame will go away and I won't have any control over it." Whatever the case is, it appears JS is easily consumed by criticism. This need for validation and clearing negative opinions ended up doing the complete opposite, showing a defensive and reactive side. This is the story of OnlyJayus, the TikToker who can't seem to stay out of controversy.